Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, today we're going to take a look at eBay, ticker symbol EBAY. This was requested by somebody in the comments in a previous video. If you have a ticker that you'd like me to cover, please drop that in the comments below. If I respond and tell you I've added it to the list, then just hold tight and wait for me to get to it. If I don't respond to you, then just assume that I have not seen the comments. In about a week or so down the line, please drop that comment again so that I can see it. All right, so eBay it's been in a nice trend since this big gap down on April 29th, and been doing a really good job of holding the MAs, as you see here. So even on that big gap down, hit the 200 MA and then just bounced it off, reclaimed the 50 MA and briefly the 20, and then struggled with those a little bit, but then was able to get this bullish crossover, the 20 over the 50, and then just took off from there. Basically held the 50 here. I know that it fell below, but within just a few days or within maybe a trading week, reclaimed that with even a strong move up here of almost 7.5% in one day, and now has recently bounced out to 50 again. So that might be sort of ready to go with another push up over that 20 MA. At least that's what I would potentially be looking at if I were thinking about getting into the play. If we draw a little bit more of a conservative channel here, this has tested this several times, right? You have the formation of the channel, but then you have one clear test, two tests, three tests, four tests, five tests, six tests. So definitely testing pretty consistently, and it's pretty nice to see. I would say actually that the testing of the channel and sort of dip buying at the bottom of the channel and taking profit toward the top, or whatever folks may be doing, has been much more consistent than even following something like the MACD. I mean, it's been following a little bit, but it's been a little bit of wavy gravy and hasn't really been super clear cut, running consistently between underneath and over the baseline. And that's predominantly, I think, just because it's been in such an upswing here. $20 for a stock of this price over the course of 5 months or so is pretty significant. And so the MACD's been spending a bunch of time above the baseline, so it's a little bit hard to gauge if it's really going to dip and run more, or where these clear bullish crossovers are headed. But the dips and the spikes within the channel have been pretty good, as well as following that 50 MA. So in my estimate, if I were to jump into eBay, I would be looking for it to just continue along those lines and just continue to play the channel. Now, there is this bit of a channel within the channel. If you're noticing here, these three lows. So I would look for that, and that's just sort of like splitting the channel, right? It's doing this thing a lot of times that we actually see on the RSI, which I don't have up right now, but on the RSI, a lot of times we see stocks running into over bought territory and then coming down and just testing the 50, the midline of the channel, and then coming back up, or sorry, not the channel, of the RSI, and then coming back up into overbought territory. So it seems to kind of be doing that thing. I'm going to put this white so it's a little bit easier to see. It's confusing with the purple MA and the purple line, but pretty solid movement there. Now, if it continues to make those lower lows, it could potentially also do this weird thing where it would kind of not consolidate, it would condense the price action within an increasingly confined area, aka sort of wedging out. But it'd be this weird wedging out in an extremely ascending formation while moving up a channel. So we'll see if that happens. That would take several months, it looks like, to play out if it were to continue to do that. And who knows how long it'll even hold this channel. It could break this channel on Monday, for example, the next trading day, it could break this channel. Certainly all channels eventually break. But for the meantime, while it is holding the channel, it's looking like it could be providing some decent opportunities to work its way through there. On the data side of things, if we pull up eBay and see what Ortex has to say. So on the analyst side of things, analysts aren't super keen on where it is at the moment. Mostly holds with a slight down potential based on their price targets. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. Much more sells from insiders, no buys from insiders in the last year And let's see, a bunch of those even coming really recently. So there could be a lot of reasons for that. Doesn't necessarily mean that something tragic is happening, but certainly something to keep an eye on, just because if it were the flip side and there were a lot of buys coming in recently and sort of quarter over quarter, as we see here, cumulatively, we would be looking at as potentially a bullish sign. So I think it's at least worth giving a nod to it and say, okay, there's a lot of sells coming out of eBay from insiders for some reason, and maybe it's just that folks want to pay for their kids' tuition and buy houses, and who knows. But maybe something to just sort of keep in the back of your mind as we work our way through eBay. Now, shorts doing next to nothing. 4% estimate from Ortex. Utilization is very, very low, so they're not adding any pressure to the stock from a selling pressure perspective. So pretty clean on that side of things. The one sort of worrisome, well, I guess maybe two worrisome things. One, I would be more, not really worried, but I would pay more attention to the insiders predominantly selling over the last year and even over the last month, versus just that the analysts haven't caught up and increased any price targets. That could mean that there's some catalyst coming, maybe especially after earnings or something like that. Analysts rejigger their targets and increase those, and that could provide some good bullish sentiment and catalysts for eBay. But in the meantime, it may just have to continue working its way through the channel and things like that. And unless there's news that comes out that's sort of like, oh, that's why insiders were selling, or or something, then just kind of let the price action and the market do its thing. But good luck if you're in this one. I used to play eBay a lot, and I kind of forget about it these days. But it's always worth giving a look. Certainly, I wish that I had caught it on this bounce. It has not been on my radar as much as it used to be. That's for sure. But I appreciate whoever left this in the comments. I'm going to try to keep this more in my sort of frame of reference, or field of view, I guess is what I'm looking for, moving down the line. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.